on Twitch that it shows everything is running.
Yeah, I like that picture.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we are live and up and running. So hopefully the White Guardian joins us. But regardless, welcome everybody to a Friday Kerbal stream. For those of you who have been watching any of the past streams, this is going to be a little bit different. You might notice that other than how white and nasty everything looks, this is not normal Kerbal Space Program. Well, it is, but I am running the new... Okay, KSP-Beta. I just want to make sure I'm loading the right one here. I am running a brand new beta testing mod known as Evolution. It's a complete overhaul for not just Kerbin, but the entire space system. I will go to map view and show you later, but this is a mod that is not available to the public yet. It's still being tweaked and tested by its creator, the White Guardian. And that is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple weeks, is helping him beta test everything. So that's what we are working on today. I started a fresh new file. I did just a little bit last night testing everything with his help. But I'm starting a fresh new file, and I have a few specific missions that I want to try and do, not only for fun, but to actually sort of test the system. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is crashing a probe on the nearest moon of the planet. And you'll have to forgive me because I've only played... Oh, Isolin. That is the name of the planet instead of Kerbin. I'm going to be launching a little tiny probe into its surface. The reason I'm going to do that is the nearest moon to the planet is actually very, very much like Kerbin or, say, Lathe was in the traditional game, where it has an atmosphere and ocean. So what I want to do is actually use HyperEdit. Yes, I know that's cheating, but I'm beta testing. I'm going to use HyperEdit to drop a plane where I land the probe, but I need to sort of find a place that I can land and take off from. So this probe is just going to land right on the surface. So I'm just looking for, I just need something very simple. The delta V requirements to get to the first moon are more or less the same as they are with the Mun or the moon, however you want to say. Kerbin's moon, which I have yet to decide, but they're more or less the same. So I just need to hurry and build something and stop talking to launch it out there, and from there I'm going to start building a communications relay system because A, the crafts need to be able to talk with the Space Center, and B, I'm going to get one in orbit around the planet, and then I'm going to send one out to the farthest planet to not only create a relay throughout the whole system, but that'll give me an idea of what all the different planets look like. So that's the plan today that I want to try and hurry and do. So this will be landing on the moon, or I think it's Pandora, I want to say, is the nearest one, which I actually really like that name. I'm pretty sure Pandora is the moon that I'm going on, but I'll check in just a little bit here. Like I said, I did land on it yesterday. I know it is possible. It's a very mountainous moon. It's really, really cool looking. Oh, that takes liquid hydrogen. I don't want that. I like... on a side note, I like using the non-stock engines just because they look cool and they're more fun, but I'm trying to find something with enough thrust. Some of these lighter engines don't really have enough thrust to use. I think this one I've used before, I like, just for the little lander. So, yeah, but anyway, oops, wrong tank. The moon is very mountainous. It's very much like Kerbin, but very mountainous, so I need to find a nice flat place to land the little probe here. So this will be landing. I am going to put a parachute on it, but I just want to hurry and get a basic landing probe, and then I will start the communications relay. So we need, let's see, we need a little transfer stage because I'm going to use most of this for the descent. There is an atmosphere parachute to work, but I want to be able to control where I go pretty well, so I'm not going to be using this for the transfer stage. So I need probably... just one of these for a little transfer stage to get from orbit to... I'm going to say Pandora. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself later, but I'm going to say the moon is Pandora. That's where we're going. So let's assume that... Oh, that's way more thrust than we need. That's actually a fairly efficient vacuum engine. Let's see, that's 323 for its specific impulse. I like that. I like the way it looks. So we will go with that. And I think a coupler works. Yeah, it actually works. So now we just need our launch stage. I am going to put communications on this so that we have something on the planet as well. So let me go ahead and put the electrical on this really quick before I forget, because I will forget, and we will have more explosions like usual. I do have communications enabled on this save file because we need to test out how communications relays work within it, and I like the realism of it, so I am going to be putting a communications system on here for testing and for authenticity. I need to find the parachute and get launching, and I've been going for the purple parachute because festive and fun, why not? I will get launching, and pretty quickly you're going to see how amazing this whole system is. It's probably the most beautiful Kerbal mod I've seen ever, and that's having run environmental visual enhancements and stock visual enhancements at the same time. I'm just looking for a little fairing here to cover that up. I hope that's wide enough. Yeah, it looks like it should be. Oops. So we are about to launch, and like I said, pretty quickly the differences will become apparent. So now we just need our launch stage really quick here.
Tell them about the NASA bill.
And once we do this, after we get this landed, I'm going to do the satellites. And then I'm actually going to build sort of an SSTO, sort of at a high altitude, almost like an X-15, not visually style, but same sort of concept, a high altitude, almost space plane that's going to explore the planet, because we need to see how flight characteristics work with the mod. I'm just looking for the Rockomax tank. Yeah, there we go. We need to see how flight characteristics work, and I want to see the planet, because honestly I've only seen about that much just from launching a craft yesterday, so I really want to see what it looks like. So after we get the communications up, we will be flying around the planet and taking a look, and hyper editing another plane on the moon, but I'll probably save that mission for later. So let's find us so we want for the main engine here something that's a little better in a vacuum. That gives a lot of thrust. Actually, let me make sure that's not hydrogen. I don't like, I found that most of the engines that use hydrogen in this are, for some reason, really, really, really thirsty. They burn through their fuel really quick. Even if they have a really strong ISP, they like to burn through their fuel really quick. I don't know why. So I try and stay away from those as much as possible. But we are going to be using, obviously, a couple of boosters on this just for help. And I love how excessively large that engine looks. I don't know, I just really like the way that looks. I'm going to be using another Rockomax. I just want to have plenty of Delta V, because why not? We're not playing career mode, we can. Let me just drop these down, and I will be connecting a fuel line. So for these side tanks, I'm going to... First of all, I have learned, for any of you guys who don't like messing with the Kraken, anytime you're using a part, let me show you the part. So if you're using a fueled nose cone, say like this guy, and that obviously looks like trash, and you go to tweak scale and you're using tweak scale and you switch the size, don't do that. Every time I've done that, the Kraken just devours all of my ships and makes really, really bad things. I think it claimed it was Val. It claimed Val's life last night during testing. So for some reason, tweak scale and the non-stock parts really don't like to go together. So be careful with that. Learned that the hard way a couple times. So I will go ahead and put a little piece of space tape on there, and then we should just be ready to. Oh, we need engines, I guess. Then we'll be ready to launch. So I want something that has better efficiency, or a little bit better at sea level. But I think, honestly, I'm going to have so much overkill that I don't need to worry about it. I just need to make sure we have a decent amount of thrust. Let's see. That's probably a little too low. Obviously, 36 is way too low. There we go. Why don't we just stick a pair of the RD-275s on? And let me just put some fins on. I don't need any reaction control system on this since it's such a quick, I guess, trip to the moon. So I'm not going to be putting anything like that. I will, however, be putting a clamping system just because I like the way that looks. And I don't like it when the ships wobble. I actually like the ones that attach to the bottom the best, but oh, that's not quite how I want it. I like the ones that attach to the bottom the best, but those tend to cause more issues. Let me see if that fixed it. Yep, there we go. Those tend to cause more issues than they alleviate, I've found. So I won't be using that, I'll just be using stock. Let me check my staging really quick and we should be good to launch, and you will immediately see what I was talking about as far as how nice this mod is. So payload, okay. Is there anything I'm forgetting before we, oh, I need to save it. So since I'm going to be testing a bunch of different crafts, I'm going to name them all sort of mission style naming conventions. So everything is going to be KEB for Kerbal Evolution Beta, then a number for the mission designation. So this would be 1A, and hopefully there won't be a 1B. B would mean that 1A catches on fire, explodes, and kills someone. So we're going to hope that it stays at 1A, and 2 will be a completely different launch. So I think we are good right there. I don't see anything else that we need to do, so let's head to launch. And since the moon is so close, I don't need to set up a transfer window or anything. I can just sort of pick a point once I'm in orbit. Yes, immediately you're going to see that this is not your everyday Kerbin. And that is a ring system that is around the planet that once you get up above the atmosphere, it's even more prominent, and it looks really, really nice. And yes, that is a sun that is not the standard sun, so I guess I should stop talking and just get up there. I will be using MechJeb just to make sure everything's quick and efficient, since this isn't completely about realism. It's more about trying to test everything and to show it off. So I think we are ready to go. And make sure everything is draining properly. Yep, looks like the fuel lines are in, so I'm going to turn off the display so that you guys can see just what I was talking about how different this planet looks. So immediately you can see that the terrain is a lot more varied, a lot more color to it, and it sounds like everything on here is, the textures are pretty much hand done. So he's put a lot of work into this, and it really sort of shows the way everything looks. And I love that the launch center, it's still, I guess, the Kerbal Space Center, even though they're not on Kerbin. It's on this little ringed island here. It's sort of set off away from everything. It does have a runway, obviously, but I just love that it's sort of stuck out in the middle of nowhere with some of the larger landmass all around it. But you can see some of the really sharp cliffs over there. The mountains in general are a lot sharper, taller, and more attractive than Kerbin's. I like that there's so much variety in terrain in this. Kerbin obviously is really cool, but I just think that there's more exploration and fun to be had on something like this. So let me see why we're wobbling here. I thought I turned limit. Okay, well, it'll probably be fine. Hey, we didn't explode. Well, they did later, but we're good, we're good. So let me turn that back off. Oh, that plume looks really good. I don't know if I've ever actually used that engine, but that's a really nice looking plume. So which engine is that? That is the Sarnus Reg or Reger or whatever. I really like the way that plume looks. That's really cool. So I'm assuming that you are already aware of the difference. So yes, that is a blue sun. That is a ring system, and you'll notice the skybox in this is pretty outstanding looking. Let me deploy our shell here, since we don't need that anymore. And obviously we've got way more than enough Delta V. I don't even know if I'm going to have to use that transfer stage there. But like I said, I'd rather be a little safe than sorry, since this is just to set up a point to drop our ship or our plane on in just a little bit here. Once we get into a solid orbit, I'm going to zoom out in the map view and just give a little glimpse of what the whole planetary system looks like, because it's a little different than Kerbin. So not everything has been named entirely, or I guess the new names have not been entirely finished yet, and the science is not active. That's why we're still in beta testing with this. So a lot of the things aren't active, but you are going to get a sense for of what it's going to look like and what it's supposed to be when all is said and done. And I will be posting information in the description of the video where you can find the forum page for the mod itself. So now that we are in orbit, let me come out to map view and show you. Yes, those are rings around the home planet. And already you can see the diversity of terrain and how beautiful it looks. So again, all of this was hand done. It wasn't just randomly generated. It was all paint, blood, sweat, and tears. The White Guardian made it, and there you can even see what looks to be like a hurricane. So lots of detail in it. And right away you can see that there are 3 moons in the main system. The first one, yeah, so Pandora, that is where we're going to go really quick. Then there's Query, yeah, then that's Dimaran. I know I'm butchering the names, but I'll learn eventually. Let me go out a little farther. And that right there is stunning in and of itself, but you will, if you watch closely, you'll see that it actually rotates. The sort of nebula gases actually spin around and rotate. It's really, really cool. So you can see it's a very busy system right away, and look at some of the inclinations. Look at some of the orbital paths on those planets. It's going to add a lot of variety. It's going to probably ratchet up the difficulty compared to most of the normal planets around Kerbin, because getting to some of these is going to take a lot of planning and a lot of Delta V. And we will be going there a little bit later, but the first thing we need to do is get to the moon and drop our probe. So we will be going to Pandora. That's the closest one that I said that looks very similar to Kerbin. So we're going to set that as our target and create a maneuver and hurry and get there. As far as Pandora is concerned, the Delta V, like I said before, it's almost identical to getting to the moon in the vanilla game. So it doesn't take too much. It's not any harder than if you've gotten to the moon in the stock game, you can get to it in this. Let me check our 800. That's a little far. I wonder if I can get that a little closer initially. I think that's 733. Whoop, lost it. 778. I'm sure we can do this a little bit closer even now. 420. Okay, we will go with that. And then we can just adjust once we're actually in orbit around it. So let's just execute the next node. And I want to use Mech Jeb as much as possible. Let me actually check my Delta V left. How much do we have? Yeah, we have more than enough for the burn. I want to use Mech Jeb because I want to be able to look around as I'm doing this and sort of show off the planet, as opposed to watching all the details on the display. But it's pretty clear. Okay, I want to add that he has not placed any of the city lights on the dark side yet, so that is going to be coming in the near future. That is planned, but you can see right away how amazing this planet looks in the whole system, especially with this skybox. Adding the skybox to that blue sun is really, really something amazing. And you can see one of the moons right there. I don't know which one that is. I wonder if I hover over it, it'll show me. Nope. But you can see a lot of the other planets off in the distance. See if I can find them. Last night I was able to hover over and find quite a few of them. But obviously sometimes it's hard to pick them out from the stars. Okay, that's our transfer burn done. Oh, yep, there's Cerulean. And that, he did carry... So Cerulean you can download for the stock or the vanilla game, and that's pretty much done and available. But obviously that is a part of this new evolution overhaul. I'm just going to warp until we get close, and then I'm going to adjust my approach once we get over there. And like I said, I wasn't too concerned with getting a really tight approach since I have more than enough Delta V. I'm not worried about that, and since I'm not playing career, I don't need to worry about cost. And you will notice that there is communication going to Pandora. That I have not yet figured out, but he did say that that was intentional, that there are things there. There is a reason for the communication relay to be hitting Pandora, so that's something that I want to explore as I'm testing this, because he did not say what that's for, but it just that there is something interesting there, and there is a reason for that, so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, we didn't get too bad. That was actually fairly close for just guessing really quick. Okay, let's do it so that we don't instantly kill the ship. And so that we actually get in. And obviously there is an atmosphere, so you have to be a little careful when entering it. Unlike the moon, which is just complete vacuum, this does have an atmosphere, so you do need to be a little bit careful. And while we are waiting, I think I need to deploy my solar panels and the communications. So let me go ahead and do that before we lose communications and this becomes dead, which seems to always happen lately. I always forget to extend the antenna, and everything just drifts off into space peacefully, never to be seen again. But I'm excited to land on Pandora because you're going to see the terrain on there is something that's really, really cool. And the reason I'm sending this probe is to use HyperEdit to drop a little plane. And the idea of the plane is that I'm going to be flying through the canyons and the mountains, which you'll see in a minute, and just doing a little bit of exploration. Let's see, hold on a sec here. Okay, I'll wait till it's done warping before I get the last one, but this should be... We should be good to go with this one. And how much Delta V do I have left? Oh, wow, I'm not even going to need that last little stage. That was all unnecessary. So yeah, I'm excited to get down to the surface of the moon. Take a look at that right there. Let me turn off the display while it does the burn. And I really do like this engine. I must say that's a really cool looking engine. I haven't actually used this one before, so I think that the plume on that is really neat. But there is Pandora. That is where we are landing. Okay, let me switch over and use our... Yeah, take a look at the terrain just from here. You can see the mountains, and there are so many islands and all of these really, really tall peaks. You don't actually get a really good grasp of that until you get a little bit lower. But I'm going to use the docking or the landing guidance to pick a place. This actually looks grassland. Yeah, that looks really flat, and like there's plenty of sort of safety area to make mistakes. So we're going to pick that. Deploy landing gear, deploy parachutes. I don't have RCS, but that's okay. Yeah, pick target on map. I already did. And land at target. So let's, again, turn off the display while we land so that we can really sort of get a nice view of the planet as we come in. I'm actually waiting for the time warp to finish because I want to dump this stage. I want something a little bit smaller. We have plenty of fuel in this stage for all of our maneuvers, so I'm going to ditch this as soon as we get out of time warp here. Yeah, you can see some of the peaks already sticking up through the clouds, so that should give you an idea. See, like up there and over there, that should give you a really strong idea of how high some of these mountains are. But there are oceans, there are clouds, so I'm assuming, I haven't actually been told, but I'm assuming the air-breathing engines will work here since parachutes do, so that's why I'm going to be dropping a light little plane in the near future here. But looks like, when is it actually doing its maneuver? How far away is it? So what stage? It's powered code. Okay, I guess we just wait for it. And in the meantime, just take a look at the planet rotating along with us, and you can see the clouds moving over the surface as well. So even though this is only in the beta stage, it looks, you know, really, really nice right now. I mean, everything looks almost ready to go and download. Here we go. Let's ditch that stage, turn on that engine. That should help us maneuver a little bit faster. Right. Okay, it shows that it has full throttle, but nothing's happening. What's going on? I thought we... Or is it draining fuel? What's going on? Yeah, it shows that it's draining fuel, but nothing's happening. That's weird. And the engines are giving thrust. That's weird. It's not showing any plume, and our orbit isn't changing. Interesting. Let's take a look. Our apo-apps and peri-apps, none of that's changing. So I'm going to quick save and then quick load and see if that doesn't fix it, because it did show that we were draining fuel. I'm not sure what's going on there. Our tank was emptying, so let me make sure. Oh yeah, look how hot it is. Shut down engine. Let me try reactivating it. Yeah, is our velocity? Yeah, our velocity isn't changing. Nothing is changing, except the engine is going on and off. Huh. I don't know if that's a matter of the engines or if it's part of the mod, but that is interesting. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quit to the main menu and reload the game and see if that doesn't fix it. But I did get down into the planet last night, so I know that it does work. I'm going to go clear out to the very, very back, or the very top menu, and then reload. Let's see. And see if we can't get that to work. Oh, and we're submerged. This usually happens in the normal game for some reason. I don't know if you guys have found it, but the water level likes to be above the Space Center. So go figure. Let's head back to the tracking station and see if this doesn't fix that. If not, I might have to use the little tiny engine for our maneuver. But luckily, I did go overkill, so we don't need to worry about running out of fuel. We should have plenty. And since it does have an atmosphere, we can rely on the parachutes. That's still doing that. Why don't I try and decouple it and see if that doesn't fix the problem? Let me just make sure I'm not opening up the parachute at the same stage. So I'm going to... Actually, I'll quick save before I do that. Jettison that. Turn on that. And now let's try landing. Let's see, it doesn't have our landing spot, does it? Where was our spot? So let's, that is our target, right? Oh, hey, White Guardian. I am just doing a little bit of testing, but I was having some issues, but I am not certain whether they were from your mod or from something else. So I'm picking a place on the map to land. Let's see. I did have a spot. Oh, hey, that actually looks nice and flat down there. It says it's in water, though. That's interesting. I'm assuming that's not water, even though it says it's water. What happened? I'll show you in just a minute, but I'm assuming that that looks like land, so that's probably land, even though it says water, right? I'm going to wait for the seal of approval before I click to land there. Then I'll explain what happened. Yeah, but I mean, that's actually land. That's not water. That looks visually like land, so I want to make sure when I land there that I will be landing on land as opposed to what it says being water. Has no biomap yet. Okay, then we're going to say land at target. Okay, so the issue I had is that I had another stage on here, and I was going to go in for our descent, and we ignited the engines, and nothing happened. It started draining fuel. So I was actually watching, if you look down here, I was draining the fuel, and the engine was glowing as though it was on, but I wasn't getting any thrust. There was no plume, and my speed and my orbit weren't changing at all. So I don't know quite what was going on with that. I don't know if it was something from this or from the engine mods, you know, some other mod. I've actually seen that happen before. I think you were watching when it happened before. Just the plume and the engine weren't working at all. Okay, good. Glad to know it's not evolution. So let's hope it actually works now. It should work. Yeah, just the plume didn't come on. It showed the engine was active and producing thrust and it was draining fuel, but there was no plume and I wasn't actually moving anywhere. So I went to the menu, I ditched that stage, and I'm hoping that this will actually end up working. And it looks like we'll find out shortly. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay. Let's see, the engine should be working. Let me abort auto land. Let me just do this myself. Okay, the engine's working good. Yeah, I'm just going to do it myself, since the auto landing really doesn't want to work. We're going to fly this bad boy down on our own. I have no idea what would be causing that. It's happened once or twice before, but and that was before evolution. So, okay, let's see if we can't find a decent place here to land. Okay, I'm gonna try and land right in that region. Yep. Oh, hey, there we go. And, oh, we're just about to connect. How much delta V is this going to take? Make sure I have enough. Why is it not saying any delta V? That's really odd. Have you seen the other planets yet? Or just, I have not gone to the other planets yet. I'm trying to get this down. I was saying earlier that what I want to do is... Okay, hold on a sec. Let me turn all this off and see. Let me just turn everything that might be on to the off position, because I don't know what... Yeah, I'm just going to make sure everything is off that I can imagine. Auto stage. Where's the landing guidance? Auto warp, deploy. I'm just turning everything I possibly can off. So MechJeb should be... Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. And the maneuver's purple. That's weird. Oh, well. Looks cool, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. So let's execute that. Yeah. Anyway, as far as the other planets, no. So what I'm doing is I want to just hurry and drop this probe on the surface, because I'm then going to use HyperEdit and just throw a light little plane down on the surface so that I can explore with a little efficient plane and see if planes will work. But I also need to get 2 communication satellites into orbit. The first one I'm going to do around the home planet, and then I'm probably going to send something out to one of these planets that are farther out. You know, I'm probably not going to go to Cerulean because I've seen that. So I'm going to pick one that's farther out, and I'm going to send another communication satellite there. That way the whole system is sort of covered by communications, and that will let me see what the planets look like. So it'll test the communications, it'll let me see what all the planets look like, and then I can move on to doing a few more things. Let me actually turn auto warp on so we don't have to sit there and watch. So that's the plan. I just want to land this on the surface so that I have a place to sort of test to make sure there's enough room for a plane. And then I will be using HyperEdit to drop almost like a glider. I'm going to use a really, really small plane to explore everything on the moon. And then I'm going to build sort of like an SSTO for exploring sort of a high altitude, almost like the U-2, sort of like a high altitude reconnaissance plane to sort of do a full loop of the home planet. So that is the plan. I'm not going to get to all of that today. I don't have time for all of that, but that's sort of in the works. So the 2 communication satellites, the plane here through HyperEdit, the plane, and the plane back on the home planet. Planets may derail. And by derail, do you mean go into different orbits? Instead, use the Alt F12 debug console to warp. Oh, okay. Instead of just placing it with HyperEdit. So let's see if we're going to get... yeah, that should put us... I'll be able to use the engine if I need to make any little corrections. So let me quick save. So Alt F12, I'm going to actually take a look and see what that does really quick. Debug toolbar. They may leave their orbits if HyperEdit is used. Okay, well, we don't want planets leaving their orbits. So would it be cheats and set orbit? Object thrower. What is? I've never actually played with the debug menu. So what would I use to put a plane where this is going to land? What would be the easiest way to do that? It's under cheats, yeah. Okay. I guess just set orbit. And then I could do... Could I do it so that it just drops like in HyperEdit, or do I have to actually put it into orbit and land it in the atmosphere? Set orbit, then put them in orbit, then fly manually. Okay, so I'll have to put some sort of little rocket on the back of it so that I can get it into the atmosphere. Oh, I should probably close my communications. Okay. I'm going to be closing everything here so that they don't break off, because that's been the theme of the past, I don't know, 2 weeks, is breaking everything off accidentally. Okay, retract antenna. Hopefully I still have communications. I never actually... why does it say they're all blocked? Debris field. What debris field? Okay, apparently there's a debris field in the way. That's... oh, no worries, I guess. But they're moving. They're blocked, and yet they're moving. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to have power for very long once we land, which is fine because I just... the disc, okay. Oh well, I don't really need... I just needed to sort of land this and see if I can find a suitable place to drop a plane. So let me quick save and then speed it up for the entry. Well, we break parts here all the time, so breaking a few solar panels, we can live with that. There aren't any Kerbals on board, so we're fine. Yes, very, very mountainous everywhere. Very scary for landing anything. You make a pretty but foreboding place. Only the ones with the casing can be retracted. Oh well. Like I said, wasn't too concerned. Made a mistake. Whoops, oh well. Let's check our path here. It looks like it's pushing us, so I might have to give it the beans a little bit. Yeah, let me turn off time warp. And let's point prograde and see if we can't... oh, never mind. We're wobbling. Yes, because we are in the atmosphere now. Well, that didn't work. Apparently I picked a terrible place to land, but actually if I can get down there, that might actually be flat enough to land something on. Psst, what? What sort of secret? Yeah, maybe I'll try landing right there. Let's see. I'm guessing those are coordinates, right? Yeah, let me kill off... I can't get there in this, obviously. Let me kill off my speed and try and land. See if I can't land down in that little flat bit. Is that for Pandora or for the planet, those coordinates? Okay, here we come. Actually, it looks like we're going... No, that should be good. It still shows that we're going to land on it. You've still got the nav ball in orbit mode. Surface, there we go. Well, that can be fixed with just a little bit of thrust, right? Like we did last night. Deja vu, right? Did the same thing yesterday. But if we remember, probes are not planes. Okay, spin, spin. There we go. There we go. We're going. I'm surprised the solar panels haven't broken off yet. Now we're going to get there. Wow, look at that peak. Yeah, I definitely want to take a plane here and fly through all this, all these mountains. I love the texture on that too. The colors and everything are really, really nice. Oh, cool. You can see the water in the little sinkholes there. Well, it reminds you of something. Yeah, the island you made. Look how tall that is. That's huge. I love that. Okay, we're coming in. Yeah, I think I could land something on here pretty easily as far as a plane. I mean, it's a little rough, but the idea is that I'm going to make something with really, really short takeoff and landing requirements. Like I was mentioning before, almost like a Piper Cub style plane that you can get in and out of anywhere with. Maybe I'll save the shoot since I don't have... since I don't have an engineer to redo it, maybe I'll try and land it. As soon as I land, I'll check out the link. Yep, I think that's screenshot worthy again, right? Though I should be paying attention to my descent. Let's see. I'm gonna keep track of my suicide burn. 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going up. Okay, let me get this on the ground, then I'll check the link out. Let me open up the communications again. Cool, I didn't blow anything up. Oh man, I love the way that looks. I just want to take a plane here and go explore it. Let me take a look at your link really quick. What's that from? What's that screenshot from? It looks familiar, but what's it from? Huh. Okay, back to the... I suppose I should turn that on. Back to the Space Center. So, Subnautica. Okay, I haven't actually seen that very much. It just looked like... It looked like something else. You're stranded on an alien water planet. Oh, wow, I haven't seen it in the evening. Look at the clouds. This looks even better in the evening, or is it morning? I don't know which way is east from the Space Center, so I don't know if it's morning or evening. Huh. Okay, so I have, let's see, a little bit of time left. Do you think that I should try and build some communications relays and send one of those off to the farthest reaches of the solar system, or should I take a U2 style plane and explore the planet itself? What do you think would be the best? I am open for ideas. I'll do either one of those two while I have time. Bloody scary. Let's see what... Oh, yep, that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that you need something like that to come out of Disparia when people land on it. Scales... Okay, so tell me where I should go. So I want to either fly a plane around here or go take something out to the farther planets. And just so you know, while I wait for your reply, the memory, CPU, and GPU usage are all... The GPU is running a little warmer than it does normally right now at the standard Kerbal Space Center, but it's still, you know, fairly normal. The use, let's see, the utilization right now is about 50%. So we're not too far out of normal, I guess, tolerances, I'd say. I need to actually start building some lifters, so while I wait for your reply, I'm going to start building sort of workhorse rockets that I'll be reusing. Okay. If I could make something like this on a planet... Oh, wow. What, the creature or the pillar? That's really cool. Okay, let's see. So I need fuel tank. So this is going to be a probe launcher, so I want a large... I want a Rockomax. Where'd the Rockomax go? That pillar... Is it really? Okay, so we have our base. I'm just trying to work out what exactly I need for my... this is going to be sort of my launch platform for everything that I use to go explore and send the probes out. So I need to... I'm going to save this as a sub-assembly so that it's really easy to start throwing a bunch of different rockets to all the new planets. Yeah, well, you can put creepy Easter eggs in, though, like we talked about. We need a decent vacuum engine really quick. I like that one, obviously, but it's stock, and I don't like to use stock if I don't have to. But honestly, that's just going to make it easy, so let me hurry and put that on. Put my decoupler, and then... So that will ideally be the interplanetary stage right there, since it gives me plenty of delta V. So now I need the lifting stage for what will become almost every vehicle I use. So I'm going to use that. And I love these, I think they're the Space Y, are they? I love the way those look. But I'm wondering if for a heavy lifter, I might actually need one size larger. So I'm going to go one size larger for my base here. There we go. Actually, how big does that go? I think... because I don't want it to go to the largest space. No, that's obviously not it. I think that's it, yeah. And I don't know why these Space-Y parts, some of them shimmer like that. It's really... I don't know what's going on there. I don't like using those if I don't have to, just because of the way that looks. Some of the largest ones do that. It's really weird. Like, take a look. See, if there's any way I can fix that, let me know. But it's just a few of the Space-Y parts that do that. But when you get to something like this, obviously it looks just fine. Let me put one more little tub on there, just since I am going to be sending this pretty much everywhere, right? Where's that? Is that the right size? Yeah, see, I really hate that they're all shiny like that. I know I'm just being picky, but there, that's okay. We'll do that. Yeah, it's a little odd, but nothing I can really do about it. And like I said, it's only a few of the parts. I'm no part expert. You're a planet expert, not a part expert. Let's see. How much thrust am I going to need? Let's see, I usually use my standby. That's a very good lifting engine. So I'm going to just put my side... So I'm going to put my side ones on. So yeah, you didn't tell me, do you want me to take a plane around the planet or launch some of these into deep space? Because regardless, eventually I'm going to be using this. Oh, actually, since I'm using... I'm going to be using my favorite fuel tanks. While they might not look realistic, these are absolutely by far and away my favorite fuel tanks to use. I love the way those look, those angled ones. Have you actually played around with those much? I just think that the way those look, some reaction to the other planets. Okay, then that's where we're going. I love the way that looks. I mean, don't those look amazing? The shape of that is just so cool. Unless you're trying to go for like a realistic build, I try and... or a more, I guess, Earth-like realistic build. I try and go with those when possible, just because I love the way they look. Well, let me know if you have a preference for a planet to go to, because I will be happy to go there. While I am building this. Make sure symmetry's on. Let me throw some engines under these. Let's see, I had... really good one last time. I don't need a ton of thrust. I usually do the RD-170s. They're really light. Septic. Okay, septic it is. We are setting a path or a course for septic. So that, yeah, I'm just going to have to use the RDs. AKA Evolution's Jewel. Ah, Jewel. Which one's it's Eve? Because Eve is a jerk. Now let's put some fins on. Okay. And you'll notice that I changed the flag from the cat to a screaming Jeb face. We can accept Jeb. That's the only thing that can replace cat head, so I switched it to a Jeb head instead of a cat head just for now. Well, since we're going there, let's mount up our control and our... I thought it was Mios. Okay, I am going to... What am I doing? I need some sort of control here, don't I? That's too big. Players are really going to hate Mios. So that's the evil Eve of this planet pack. I suppose I should probably end up doing a mission there just to see what it's all about later, shouldn't I? Except I'm not looking forward to that. Eve is evil enough. Actually, I'm going to switch the order on these. Okay, now we need our payload. So I'm going to have... This is going to launch a little satellite really far out, no atmosphere, high gravity. Well, that ought to be fun, huh? Too bad you can't make things like meteor showers that rain down on the planets and randomly destroy equipment. That would just be evil and hilarious. Okay, so we need our little... Okay, the idea... Okay. Sorry, I'm just sort of going over exactly what I need in this. Let me save this as a subassembly really quick. I should be able to, right? I don't see any reason why I couldn't. Maybe I can. Why is that? Why is it not attachable? Is there? Do you know why it would? What I need to make it attachable? Let me set that as the main part. Yeah, why wouldn't it be attachable? What if I? There we go. Whatever. So we're going to put Henry core. Yeah, it would be cool if you could rain down death on your settlements. Then you'd have to do some sort of safety thing, then, right? You'd have to build some sort of shelters that were tolerant to meteorites and comets. Okay, so this... Actually, no, I don't need to save. Okay, so this is going to be my two-part radar and explorer. So let me do a probe core. This is going to be the main bit of it. So let me put the batteries on. And so, see, obviously I'm spending a lot of time building on this stream, but the idea is that once I've built these, I'm not going to have to rebuild them. I'm just going to keep sending these out to different planets. So ideally, this is going to be the core explorer. And then I can take these and send, you know, like 4 ships at once to different planets. So that's why it's sort of, you know, more build than exploration right now. But I want to have sort of a stable platform that I can use. And I don't just want to cheat everywhere, because ideally beta testing means, you know, actually going out and doing it, and it's more fun. So I want to actually have to launch everything except for the plane. So that's what I'm working on here. That's why this is, you know, taking a little bit longer than it might normally take. So we need that. And then we need, let's see. Okay, I actually have a cool idea for how to do this. So this is going to be our stable. I need a small fuel tank. Where's the small one? That's too small. I want one below that. Okay, yeah, no worries. I am going to be building. Engines. I will be using something small and highly efficient, so let me look up in this region. 320. Oh, that's way too much thrust. That's way too big. I usually tend to use these. They're very light and pretty efficient. That's liquid. Okay, 66 and 320. Why not that? Actually, that's huge. That's way too big. 311. How would this work? Does that have an attachment point on it? Let me see. Yeah, it does. Okay. 1,300 meters per second. Yeah, that's all I need, really. And actually, I do want a longer one because of what I'm going to be doing here. Let me put the RCS thrusters on really quick. Let's see. Where are they? Just want the small ones. Did I just miss them? Yeah, I'll just use these. So we'll take 2 of those, and we'll put those there. Then we are going to go like this. Hopefully this works. I haven't actually tried something like this before. I don't want it to interfere with the rest of the rocket. No, I'm going to just make this a little bit easier, and I'm going to use... Scratch my original idea. I'm just going to use something tried and tested and true. So we're going to use that. Right there. And we'll move that up. And then this is going to have our electrical. So we're going to put... Because we are going to be quite far from the sun, we're going to put those on. Let me just make sure that they're going to... Yes, that should be okay. Even if there's a little clipping, that'll be okay. Now we need our communications dish. I want something quite powerful. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there, I would say. Let me see if there's something. I don't know how to tell the ratings as far as how far they can look or see or anything, but these two look almost identical. So is the antenna rating the distance, I would imagine? Let's see. High gain for blazingly fast, directional, originally designed for deep space probes. So it says it's directional, so we're going to go overkill on this because we can. That actually looks pretty cool. I like that. Retract. Now here's what we're going to do. So that is going to be our main communications, but we do want something on top of this. And what that will be is a little landing pod to go down to whichever planet we are working on. So I'm going to take another probe core. And I might have to build this thing backwards. That's okay. So if we build it backwards, we're going to need a little bit of electrical. That's not a little bit, that's a lot. Oh, there it is. My bad. I'm going to take 2. So basically I'm going to more or less, okay, hey, be doubling that up. Then we need a fuel tank. I will be doing another one of these. And then I will be doing my patented clipping technique. Here we go. And then I'm going to insert those just a tiny bit. So yeah, we're just about ready to launch. I'm just, the idea here is that this little thing off the top is going to decouple, and this will be able to land on any of the planets. I'm going to put some parachutes on it and just some basic communications information. So let's see what I can find for something that's relatively thrusty but efficient. So that gives us, what is it, 60? In case there's a slightly heavier, I want to, there's slightly more gravity. I want something that's a little bit more powerful. That's 450, and that weighs 3 tons. How much does this weigh? 0.5. Yeah, I need to keep the weight down. That actually doesn't look too bad, does it? Why is it? There we go. So let's put it on the top. That should be good. Yeah, that. Now let's put some landing legs, and I'm going to put some parachutes because I have no idea what you have or what I'm in store. What's in store for me? So I want to kind of play it safe with everything. Make sure that, yeah, okay. Now let's parachute the heck out of this, and we will put some solar panels. Where are they? The little ones. Those we'll be able to retract later. Parachute time. I don't know what we're in for, so I will make sure we put a couple septic. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Among other, but like I said, this is going to be used for all of them. This basic design I'm going to keep resending out, so I need this to basically be able to cover the best and worst of what you've made. Septic's a common one, yes, but I'm sure there are some that aren't, which is why I am going a little bit overkill. So, oh, it needs a tiny bit of communications. I'm just going to put one of the tiny relays on right there. And I think just because, since I can always ditch it later, how's this for an idea? Because I can jettison, as far as I'm aware, I can just jettison that and then it'll come off. So I think we'll be good. So this is going to be Kerbal evolution. Why am I not typing? What happened? Okay, Kerbal evolution beta probe. So P for probe, A. So that's what that's going to be, and we will save that. So now what we do is we take this. Is there anything I'm forgetting? I mean, other than the lifter, that you can think of just for general exploration and communication? Obviously, I'm not taking science since it's not working yet, but is there anything that you think that I'm missing? So the idea is that that up there is going to flip around and go to the planet, while this stays up and acts as a communications relay to go back and communicate with everything else that we'll be launching. So let me know if you can think of anything that I am missing. Let's see, subassembly. Let's pull this out. Perfect. Looks good. Okay, cool. Then we need a bit of coupling, so I'm going to use the Rockomax just because that's the size that it is. And then I will need the shroud, or the fairing. And I will use the Rockomax size. I believe that's this guy right here. Yeah, the 2.5. Okay, let's cover that up a bit. That's a little too sharp. Let me see if I can't stretch it out a bit. Yeah, there we go. Oops. Try and get it straight. Okay, so the decoupler is right there. Let's see. I don't need any sort of... that's a reaction wheel, but I don't need any sort of core or anything on that, do I? Since it's going to be controlled from that. I don't believe I do. So I think we're good. Yeah, let me just actually save this as... What should we call the full launcher? So KEB, what I'm doing is each mission sort of gets its own name along with the craft. So KEB stands for Kerbal Evolution Beta. So what's this one going to be called? Since this is going to head out to Septic. What do we want to call this one? Maybe the SA for Septic Launch A. Does that sound good, or do you have something better that we should name it? While you're doing that, I'm actually going to put the launching deep space. How about... Okay, deep. It'll work. Deep space. And we're going to do A because... actually, I'll do lowercase a. The idea is that A, B, C, and D would be... Once I fail, we move on to the next one. But hopefully we're not going to fail with this one. Actually, looks pretty good. I like that a lot. And I'll be able to reuse this many, many times. And I still need to... take it a little... I want the launch clamps on this because we don't need any wobbly and tilting. You know what I should do? Just randomly thinking, because this reminds me of what happened yesterday. I should just do like a 30-minute stream of nothing but Kraken launches with what happened last night. Remember how everything got all bent and broken? It'd actually be fun to do something like that, just a messing around Kraken stream. Let's see, engines. Okay, I'm going to stick that up there. So we have those decouple, and then the next step to decouple, where is it? Oh, it's up there. The next one is that one. So that would then go right there, and which engine do I want? Okay, so let's switch those engines around. That should be good enough to get me going. Yeah, let me just make sure there isn't anything I forgot. I wonder if I should put Separatrons on that. Those are pretty big. I might need something like that just to make sure it doesn't destroy the craft. Separatrons, where are we? Flingatron. Larger variant. Okay. Yeah, we'll put some Flingatrons on. If they will... There we go. Rotate. So we want that in this stage. We don't really need to waste time having the rockets just explode before it even gets out of the atmosphere. So that should be a decent location since the... yeah, that'll give more or less equal thrust there, so we should be good. Fuel lines are attached. Let's go. I'm going to get this into a really high orbit, and then I'm going to worry about the transfer window. I haven't actually looked at the transfer window yet. And actually, that's funny. I haven't been doing any manned missions. I purposely moved my webcam from right here so that the Kerbal heads would appear right there. But evidently, I'm not doing anything manned this time, unfortunately. Okay, now we can turn this back on. Limit Q. Limit angle of attack. Auto warp. Let's see. Auto stage. Auto deploy solar panels. Okay, we should be good. I want to get up to 150 for this. So without further ado, let's... Yeah, that actually looks nice. I think that looks pretty good. Just for mech jub's sake, I'm going to put those in the same. So let's get going. Let's get going. Okay, we're good. And as with all the launches, I'm doing Mech Jeb on this just because I want to see how everything looks without the display, so that I don't have to pay attention to anything. And I'm watching, let's see, I'm watching my performance as well. So CPU and GPU and memory are all, actually my memory usage is staying stable at 10 gig flat. It's not changing at all, so that's good. But obviously you said you only had 8 gig, but I'm sure this has a lot to do with trying to run OBS and everything else, but it's staying steady at 10 gig utilization. So no performance spikes or issues to report on my end as far as CPU, GPU, or memory. So we're ace there. And that was even, oh wow, look at that. Okay, that's going on the forum right there. I'm gonna take a couple of those. That's amazing looking. Yeah, I'm saving a bunch of screenshots. Yeah, actually, would you mind posting a link in the chat really quick to the forum page? Okay, let's see if this is separate. Post a link to the forum page for Evolution, because as soon as I'm done here, I want to just hurry and drop those in, and I don't want to have to go search through my email for them. If you don't mind, I would appreciate that. Yes, that's very nice looking. Just checking our Delta V. Thank you. Thank you, Guardian-san. I appreciate it. Yeah, as soon as I'm done, I'll go drag some of those screenshots over to the forum. Actually, speaking of that, is there a way to just insert pictures directly into the Kerbal forum? Because what I've been having to do is go to like postimage.com or whatever it is to upload a picture there and then post the link, and then it embeds it. Is there an easier way to do that? Because I haven't actually seen one in the forum. Let's see, we've got plenty of Delta V left. Yeah, look at that. That's so nice looking. Really, really nice. Okay, then I'll just do it how I have been. I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's annoying. But I was just wondering if there was like something that opens up once you've been a member for a long enough period of time, or if there's just something I didn't know. But if not, no big deal. I mean, it just adds a couple extra minutes. Do I have auto warp on? Yeah, I do. Why is it not auto warping? While it's doing that, let me go ahead and set the target. Oh, actually, I was showing Linda this last night, and she brought up a question about, I guess it's not so much for the mod itself, but for the skybox. Let me find it really quick, then I'll ask. Septic. Okay, set as target. And let me see what the transfer window is looking like while we wait. Yeah, and I've noticed when I use the transfer window calculator, it defaults to Pandora as opposed to the planet. I don't know if that's something on your end, but every time it just defaults here instead of like Kerbin or something. Because when I was playing the vanilla game, it would always default to Kerbin naturally, but it defaults to the moons for some reason every time I open it up. I don't know what would cause that, or if that's something you can fix or even want to, but that was just something that I did notice. Okay, you can explain that. Then if there's a reason behind it, that is good. I just wanted to point out Pandora uses Kerbin as a template. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So it's sort of like the default, the go-to for it. Why is my engine still firing? Cut off? Maybe that's why it picks it up. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. I was just curious, you know, since we are testing it, I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. So we are going to Why do I... Oh, because we're from Pandora. Never mind. My bad. I is smart. Don't worry. Septic. And we're from... Actually, that's a really... Let me circularize that orbit. I'm going to say it's from 196. I don't like how dirty that orbit is. But when's our... oh, year 1, day 50? That's actually not too far away. We can get there... I can actually do that pretty quick. I have probably 20 more minutes max for streaming, and I think we should be able to do that. So let me circularize my orbit really quick at my apps. Let's see, circularize at apps, create and execute. Yeah, I should have time to hurry and get up, deploy the fairing. And open up some of the communications because I don't want to lose communication. I'm just going to extend one of them for now. Actually, why not extend all of them? I have no reason not to. So the reason, you might be wondering why I put 4 on here. The reason is because A, it looks cool when it's when everything is even, and 2 is it said these are directional, and I don't want to take any chance of losing communication, and no, I don't want to have to go and change the anti-communication, or I don't want to turn communication off in the settings because we're testing that. So I didn't want to take any chance that these literally mean directional. And if it, no, I mean directional. It said that these were directional antennae, and I didn't want to worry that if that actually meant that one of them wasn't facing the planet, that it would lose communications. So we put 4. And yes, symmetry does look better on Spacey-Bit. So we went with 4 of them just to be safe, since we all know what happens on all of my streams, and that's everything loses communications. Okay, but my question, let me deploy these. Then actually, Linda brought up a good question last night, so let me extend these really quick, and then I will ask you. I should put some lights on this. Oh well. Okay, so for the skybox here, the standard skybox on the vanilla game, when you look at the sun, everything sort of, all the stars dim, and all you can see is the sun, and and the sky gets darker around it. And then when you're back in the shadow, all the stars appear. Is there any way that we can do that dimming feature in this skybox? Because I think that if you could get that to work, and you know what I'm talking about, right? If you could get that to work, I would say use this as the default skybox for it, because it goes so well with the system. It would be a shame to use the stock skybox on something like this. Did that make sense at all? Hopefully. Well, yeah, I mean, it does, but not a lot. I mean, look, all the stars are still more or less otherwise distant object. Okay, because, it doesn't really take... I mean, those stars right there, we shouldn't be able to see. At least, from my perspective, is right around the star right there. All those stars shouldn't really be visible. Let's see what we've got here for... okay, it looks like our orbit is clean. They're really close. Okay. That's close enough. Let's just cut it there. Okay, let's go back to the tracking center and set up our maneuver to go out to septic. What's the auto warp tolerance? Is it 150? You know how it only lets you do up to 4 times on when you're below a certain altitude. Is it 150K? Is that what it is? Because if it is, I don't need to come in here to do that. So we set septic as our target. We are going from Isolin at a, what am I, 196, I think. Whoops, not million. And we want to get to septic. And I'm going to say 200 just to be safe, because I don't know. You say it's tame, but I don't know how tame that really is. So let's set our alarm clock and fast forward. Luckily, we don't have to wait, 4 years to get there. So let us wait. Yeah, I'm glad that the transfer window is pretty close. That's nice. Oh, wow, look at the delta V required. That's a ton. I hope I haven't... Actually, yeah, I do. That single orange tank gave me, what, 6,000 gas giant. Okay, cool. yeah, so I have at least 6,000 in my Rockomax tank, so I should have plenty of Delta V to get into orbit around it. And then I actually have the little probes. You may want to add an extra 0. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean on for septics? Okay. Well, it'll still give me more or less the same numbers as far as timing, but I'll remember that when I'm doing my close encounter tweak burn. Because if you're warning me already, then yes, I will definitely heed your advice. Since even Cerulean seems to hate me. And if you say giant, then I'm assuming you actually mean giant, since you have a tendency to understate everything. 246, so it's at 250. Close alarm. I'm just going to get it a little closer. 247. Okay, let me catch it. 247. 248. 249. Okay, perfect. Let's head back in. And it's the same size as Joule. Okay. And by size, you mean size, not mass, which the way you're warning me of the gravity might mean it's slightly more massive. But yeah, everything looks good as far as around Isolin. Yeah, that's so nice looking. I love that. Okay, let's set up our maneuver then. Let's get rid of that. Okay, we have to do this again. Is there a way to copy this over when I'm from the map view back to the actual game view without having to type this in each time? Because this gets really annoying. Okay, plot it. Let's show ejection angles. Where are we? And let's go ahead and set our maneuver up. Add maneuver. And it says my ejection delta V is... Correction, I did mess with septic. Thanks. Lovely. So 2,200 about. So I'm going to pull the maneuver out, and then I'm going to go take a look at map view and see where we're actually at. Okay. See if I can't hide that a little bit. Where are we? We don't have an encounter yet. Is it? I didn't actually look to see what its orbit looks like. Oh, we didn't set it. Oh, I should probably set it as our target, shouldn't I? That would help. Hey, we do have an encounter coming. Okay. Let's see. Am I too far or too... I'm assuming it's going to be pretty easy to get an encounter since it's so big. Yep, right there. There we go. What's my total delta V on that? 27? Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, that I'll tweak it once we get out there, but that looks like a good maneuver, so let's go for it. And let me make sure I'm still flying from the proper... Okay. I want to make sure I'm controlling it from the right probe, otherwise we're going to be facing backwards, and that would probably not help us. Yeah, maybe I should have put some RCS on this so it doesn't take so long to turn. Oh wait, no, I did. I was going to say, I'm an idiot and I forgot to put monopropellant. But I did put monopropellant. It's that big tank there. So I am good. I wonder if I have enough to actually use it to help us get around since this takes so long. Let me watch how fast. Yeah, I'm going to use that just for these maneuvers to make it a little bit quicker. How much delta V do we have left? So we have 16 left in this, and then we've got another like 6,000 or 4,000 or whatever in that, so we should have plenty. And then I have the 2 probes on top, so I think we'll be okay with delta V. So I'm not worried about that. And as far as memory and CPU, everything is still running just fine. Okay, I'm excited to go see what this scary gas giant looks like. But once we get this probe out there, on the next time I stream, I am going to take a U2 style plane to explore Isolin itself. I really want to do that, and I'm going to send the plane to Pandora, since I really nothing seems cooler than flying and weaving through those mountains with a plane. So that is what I want to do next time I stream this. Watch our burn. Oh, I should actually check the staging to make sure. Yeah, okay. And I will be turning off the display just so that I can see what everything looks like. Yeah, you're right. It does have a little bit of dimming. I guess I just didn't notice that last night. Linda was like, oh, it's so bright all the time, but maybe I just didn't notice that it does dim. And I think part of the issue is that I was playing at full screen. Oh, hold on a sec. Okay, we're going. How much delta V do I have in this? So we have plenty. Coordinate. Let's see. You may want to log those coordinates. Okay, the ones you sent in the text a little while ago. I'm scrolling back through the text to find them. Just copy that. Let me find a place that I can save the text really quick. Compose. Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing down the text. There we go. Make sure it saves. Good. Okay, Okay, my chat looked like it was messed up, but yeah, I went ahead and wrote those down. But anyway, yeah, the skybox. What I was saying last night is I think part of the problem is that I was doing it on my my 45-inch TV, so everything just looked brighter. That's why Linda said, oh, it looks so bright and it doesn't dim. But I can see that it does dim now, so never mind. I guess I was just, I was too close to the screen or something, why it looked like it wasn't dimming. And we are about to be... Okay, looks like we got a relatively clean burn, so let me go focus the view. I'm not going to get too close. I don't want to spoil what it looks like. Let's see. By the way, I'm starting the actual Shirley and Mavis on my second monitor. The two Aurelian's moons have been named after. Oh, okay. Nice. Let's see. So what do I want to do? I want to fine-tune closest approach. And you said... I'm going to go... So you said probably 1,000. Is that safe? Is that going to be safe enough to not burn up in a fiery... would fry the Kerbal Kentucky Fried Chicken style burning death? Or do I need to go a little bit farther out? Guinea pigs. Am I good? 1,000? 1,000? You'll be all right. Okay. So fine-tune closest approach. Yes, again, like I said, I just want to do everything automated because we are testing to make sure everything is stable and using mods like this to test it, sort of puts it through its paces. And I like to be able to take off the display so that we can see, oh, look at the rings, look at the rings. That was pretty. Okay. I do want to make sure everything works with mods, and I do want to be able to do a view like this just so that we can see everything since it looks so nice. And look at, there it is rotating. Is that a planet out there? What is that? Dres, okay. Oh, is that the one that's closest to the star in this? I want to say. Which one is it? Is that it? No, Errol. Oh, what was I looking at then? Oh, Dres. Oh, just must have been the angle. Yeah, see right there. That's what I was seeing. That's what it says. Catherine, Errol. Where did Dres come from? I don't know. I didn't make it. Yeah, but let me show you. I'll go back to the map view. Dres, right there. See? What the heck? Well, it is a busy system. So let me just run by all the planets for you, I guess. We have Errol really close. Then obviously we have Isolin, right? And then what's out from that? Then we have Mackenzie. Then we have Dres. Then we have Cerulean and Citron. And then we have Septic. Volkner. Catherine. Fort 10. I don't think I see one. Let me... no, there isn't one. See, as far as I'm aware, there is not one, according to this. Is it just, is Dres, or is, let's see. Is Volkner actually Dres? Is that it? I'm guessing. Dres got reworked to Volkner, but the system is still... Okay, yeah. I forgot to remove it, though. Okay, well, we're all good. That's why we're testing it. The standard Dres. Well, I guess what you could technically do is just mash the two systems so that there are about 1,000 planets all within there so that it's so crowded you can't go anywhere without bumping into a planet. That would be fun. So, septic, periapsis. I'm going to quick save, and then I'm going to create the maneuver here. And this is the one that it said is going to take a lot of delta V because it's a big ol' fatty, it sounds like. Big ol' fatty planet. Oh yeah, ooh yeah. But you said I shouldn't get too close, so I don't want to... I can't read your... I'll read that in just a sec. Hold on, let me get this maneuver. So we've got 1 million. Yeah, I'm going to keep it there just to be safe. So let's execute next node. Okay, but that config... Still, let's see. You're actually the first one to reach septic. Cool. We are charting the previously uncharted. We are going boldly since the Star Trek's copyrighted. We're going boldly instead of boldly going to new areas never before seen in Kerbal, which is actually really, really exciting. I'm glad we're able to do this. This is a lot of fun to see this. And it looks like communications is working just fine. Let me check my power levels here. Electric charge, yeah, everything's good. Uncharted, that's... So let's slightly tweak every possible cliche with space travel. So hurry and go, let's see, start naming space cliches. So we're going boldly, but we have to tweak each one. We're going boldly into new, let's see, slightly new frontiers. What are some other cliches that I can't think of right now? 1 year... Look at the sun slowly fading away and the disk slowly fading away. Our electric charge is still very good. Our signal strength is weakening. Houston, we don't have a problem. Or I guess where would the Kerbal Space Center actually be located? If we wanted to get into, you know, like countries, states, provinces, or something like that. We have when really bad disasters happen, it's just threat level Jeb. That's the go-to for any problem. It's threat level Jeb or disaster level Jeb, or we have a problem, it's Jeb level. Doesn't get any higher than threat level Jeb. But what would the name of the actual region that the Space Center is on be called? I've never actually thought about it, and they just sort of name, you know, in the vanilla game, it's just biomes. So I'm wondering what we would actually call the city or the region around the Space Center. How's the blue galaxy texture, by the way? Where are we? I'm assuming you mean in the skybox, right? Is that what you're referring to? I still have to name those for Island. Yeah, but I mean, even the stock game doesn't actually have like a city, state, or province that the... oh, wait, we're coming up. That the Space Center is located on. Oh, are we coming? Is that it? Is that where we're going? Or is that... 4 days? No, the galaxy you're in right now. Oh, good. Yes, everything good there. Is that where we're going? Where are we going? How far away are we? Not the Milky Way in the background. That's it. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure we didn't take a left when we should have taken a right past Pandora, you know. GPS sometimes gets it wrong and says, yeah, swing a right, Pandora. We went left. Except Jeb's not even driving, so no wonder that we didn't make any mistakes. So that we're doing the right thing since Jeb is not at the helm. Now that I think about it, I probably should have sent Jeb out here so that he could be the first person to do this. That's a long burn, isn't it? But I do... Let's see. Do I have the Delta V? Yeah, I've got plenty of Delta V for it. Just trying to read all the names here. You weren't kidding when you said this would be fine. I'm way out here. I will be... I see Lathe. It'll be Manny in the final version. Okay, cool. I love also that you have Cerulean and Disparia in here. I'm really glad that it stayed in there so that when people download it, they still get to go there. That's really cool. I'm excited for people to be able to go there. Though I wouldn't mind if you switched... Oh, wait, never mind. You said Pandora actually means something, right? I was going to say if you switched Pandora and Disparia, that'd be cool because most people would see... most people are going to see Pandora first, but I think you said Pandora has some sort of meaning or something. But, you know, thought I would throw it out there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You'll have to tell me sometime where you get all the names from, since you are the type of person that doesn't just randomly name. You have meaning behind each one, so I'd be interested to hear where a lot of these names came from. A little config for me. Well, I meant so everyone could see it, but swapping orbits is easy. Well, I just meant swapping the names of them. So you would rename the moon Disparia, Pandora, and then Pandora would become Disparia, just for a little bit more prominence. But you actually did name randomly. Well, never mind. My bad. Take that back. Are we getting close to doing what we're supposed to? So, even easier. Yes, so that's what I meant is like, so for everybody to see, but, you know, I don't want to change your vision here. I just thought it would be cool to have the most prominent moon be named something like that. But you know, just saying, that'd be cool, but Pandora is still a good name. And Disparia, you know, most people should be able to get there. But yeah, I would imagine switching names would be super easy, just a little copy-paste. So it's been about an hour and a half. What I'm going to do is get into orbit around here, and then I'm going to drop my periapps so that I can get close enough to actually see the planet before I log off, because I want to see this thing. I'm not going to go zoom in into the map view. I haven't done that yet. I don't know what it looks like, but I want my first encounter with it to be when I actually, you know, fly there. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to finish up the stream, but I'm not going to finish until I see what it looks like. I can't tell what color that is. I'm trying to lean really close. Kind of looks like it's green, greenish yellow. Is that what I'm looking at? But it might be one of the moons. Our Delta V... Yeah, we're still good on Delta V. I'm happy that we had enough. And let's not forget that I still have this whole nightmare-looking assembly. Ooh, look at the signal strength. I should be okay for the signal strength, I would imagine. This is what I was talking about, is I wanted to sort of put a relay... I'm going to have to put a relay or another satellite, maybe around Mackenzie, just so that there's, you know, stepping stones for everything. Here we are out in deep, uncharted space. Going, I wouldn't say it's boldly since we don't have any Kerbals on board then. So we're going with mild enthusiasm. Since, you know, probes can't really be super excited. I am, but I don't know how excited the probe is, the probe core. Click. Okay. Now let's zoom in and... How much would this... Let me see what sort of a burn this would take to drop it from this side. Oh, that's going to be super easy. So where's the danger zone? I don't want to get too close and just crash it immediately. If I go into, say, 283, is that safe enough? I did name a few planets in my writing that had pretty strong meanings behind them. Yeah, that's what I figured. You would do something like that most of them, at least the prominent ones, would have meaning. You'll be fine. Okay, then let's execute that, and let's see what this actually looks like. And we've still got plenty of monopropellant, so we're good. You're so bloody far out, I know. I don't know. I thought I was going to be closer, but I must have accidentally added another 0. I mean, that's practically in another planet's orbit, how far out I am. Wasn't my fault. It was Mech Jeb. Blame electronic Jeb, because even an electrical Jeb still has issues sometimes. And it looks like I'm seeing rings there. Is that right? Yeah, I think I see rings. Unless that's some sort of super moon going super fast, so it leaves a streak. Blame Jeb. Yes, even his electronic mechanical counterpart can't do things right. Yeah, digital Jeb. That dadgum digital Jeb was, you know, always getting in electronics and messing things up. Hey, my signal strength went up. Nice. I think I'll be okay as far as signal, but that's why I put 4 on there, because overkill. My electrical charge is good. What's the name of the sun in this? Because the actual sun in Kerbal was never really named. I guess everyone, you know, calls it Kerbal with an O. But do you actually have a name for Coded Vibes? Yeah. Do you actually have a name for the sun in this? Adentia. Is it? Would it be Adentia? Is that how I would say it? Here we go for our burn, and we do have fuel. I'm so glad that I have enough fuel for this. Like I said, I will be using that launch system to go to every planet, since I know that it has enough. I might need to just add slightly more boosters if I want to get out to the farthest. Like if I want to get out to Fortin, I might need a little bit more. Let's see, start 3B. So just really quick, can you hear me? Because it said for some reason that I went offline. Was there any loss of the stream there? It just Twitch just suddenly said that I was offline. Am I still good? Were there any hiccups or glitches? I'm just curious. I don't know. Sometimes it does that. But it didn't. OBS said I'm still online, and it shows my bitrate and stream health are still good. Nothing. Okay, good. Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes it just says I go offline, even when I don't go offline, I guess. But it only seems to do it when we talk about Jeb. Have you noticed that? It's like even Mech Jeb tries to mess with Twitch. Jeb just likes to get his little green mitts and everything, even his electronic green mitts. So let's add a maneuver to shrink this in. And then once I get into this orbit, I'm going to take a look and see what it actually looks like, but then I'm going to have to stop the stream. But I am not doing it until I actually get to see what the planet looks like, since obviously it's obscured by the sun right now. And that sun looks amazing from out here. I think it even looks better from off in the distance. Yep, screenshot time. Whoop, wrong button, not screenshot time. There we go. Let's see. So you mean the other save file? No, it's Jeb's done that. Because Jeb has been everywhere and done everything, and it's usually his fault. He's the first to get there, and he usually breaks it on the way, so it's usually Jeb's done that. And that's what I do, and ask, you know, my mom or Linda or anyone, whenever I watch a video or any sort of movie or TV show where they talk about space or what is going on? Anytime talk about space or regular flying, and I see a rocket launch or anything like that, it's always Jeb's done that. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I don't know. Did you see the blinking where the stars went away for a moment? That happened twice. Did you happen to catch that? One. Let's do our burn. Yeah, I'm really far out from the planet, aren't I? I think I'm actually going to do a little bit longer of a burn once it finishes doing it. Okay, yeah, now I can actually see the system. Yeah, the skybox just turned black for a fraction of a second. So let's bring that in. I'm going to get just beyond the stars there, or I mean the moons, the satellites, as it were, before I cut the throttle. So I'm going to keep giving it the beans here. So we're pointing retrograde. So yeah, I'm just going to... Oh, okay, cool. Good to know. Yeah, I'm going to bring this just to the edge of the moons. And then I will call it good. Lave's orbit will be occupied by an object called Orions. Okay. Yeah, you're still doing a lot of work on this, aren't you? That's cool. I can't wait to see it when it's finished, but I mean, there's still so much to explore and look around at already. This should be good. I'm going to burn just about all of my fuel doing this. And we are I don't want to get too close to the moon in case there are problems with gravity pulling us into our death. So let me just warp to the closest point before I close the stream, and then we will be good. Check our communications. Yeah, we're getting a little sketchy there, but we should be okay. Let me turn this off. I'll take a few screenshots once I get really close and you can see all the moons. So I'm going to wait till I hit periapse, and then I'll take a few, and then I'll finish up. And like I said, I will post in just a little bit. I'll post the screenshots to the Kerbal forum, the ones that I've taken here. I've got to run out to the store as soon as I'm done here, so I'm not going to be able to upload this to YouTube until later tonight, my time tonight, not your time, since it's, what, like 10 or 11 already. But I will upload these later once I get back. So look for those probably in just an hour or two after I finish the stream. I'm just watching my periapse time. So yeah, look for the photos and the video to be uploaded in an hour or two from when I finish the stream here. And here we come. Let me take it out of map view and see what we've got here. Oh wow, look. Bullseye. 3 past 11. Yeah. I figure I might as well let you go to bed at a reasonable hour once, right? That is so nice. That is awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're almost there. We're about a day away. Yeah, I know I could just say warp here, but I don't want to. Oh, darn. Too bad it's on the dark side. Let's see. Where do we want an angle for a screenshot? I'm going to get one with the sun sort of darkening everything. We'll do that. Then let me switch it around here. I'll get one when I'm up in the dense part. Is there anything else you want me to specifically take a picture of? Unfortunately, this is on the dark side, so you can't see it in all its glory, but we are still pretty close. Just map view and look at the planets. Let's see. Do you want to? I'll take a screenshot. Do you want me to do one with the display up or not? Because I can do either way. Your call. I'll take one more of those, and then I'll call it good. But what do you want to see, with or without? Oh, you mean take one of all the planets? Something like this? I kind of like it without. I mean, because you can see their orbital paths. The display is not very scenic. How do I remove that? Reset. Okay. I didn't like that little angle to prograde. Sort of the spaghetti bowl. I'm going to do one right there. And then right there. Cool. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice. Let me do one right there. Cool. Yeah, that should be plenty of screenshots. That's awesome. Am I time warping? Nope. Okay, let me head back and do a quick save now that we have this in place. And actually, since I do have that lander, I could try sending that to one of the moons next time, too. That'd be a good idea. I think I'll try and do that since I might as well, right? You can maybe suggest a moon to try and shoot that off to. So, okay, yeah, I'm going to quick save one more time, and I think that will do it for the stream. Either Monday or Wednesday next week, I will be able to get back to this. We have some stuff going on over the weekend. We have family coming in, so I won't be able to do it this weekend, but probably Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, I will be back. I might do a sort of a special stream on Tuesday again for this, so look for more streaming the first part of next week. I think between now and then, I need to see that reaction. You want me to actually go look at them, like zoom in on them? Because I don't want to spoil too much, but let me like focus a view on one of them. I think that I'm going to go ahead and build between streams. I'm going to build the ship so that I don't have to waste time doing that, so that we can just go straight out next time I stream. Let's see. Oh, wow. Hey, that looks a lot. That's like looks like a lathe one. Man, where are you supposed to land on that? You're already there. Yeah, I am already here. So let me highlight each one of the moons. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, wow. What is that? Are those clouds? Oh, that is so neat. Hey, you got your hurricanes. Oh, man, that is really, really nice. Lathe is still stock. Yeah, that's fine. Let's focus view. Oh, wow, look at that impact crater. That looks like, I'm guessing, no atmosphere. Nice and hostile. It looks like it's got some pretty deep mountains, but I love those huge craters. I'd say that'd be a good place for a base, but they almost look like they'd be so high that you'd lose a lot of sunlight during the morning and evening. Which one did I miss? Oh, what is that an ice? What is that? Oh, wow. Yeah, I gotta pick one that I pick one to land on. I don't know. I'll have to. I kind of like the one with the craters, but that red one. Yeah, so I'm thinking either that one or this one to send the probe down to, because I can see this one has the atmosphere. The other craters form the Little Dipper. Oh, do they really? I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, I think one of those two is the one. I'll pick one of those to land on next time. Let's see, Little Dipper, Little Dipper. Wait, is that it? That actually looks like a face, especially with the map icon. That totally looks like a snowman head, doesn't it? You see the eyes, the nose, and then the little the coal mouth. That's actually a snowman head. That's funny. Bet you weren't expecting that. You have a secret snowman on it. Let me just zoom out far enough to see if I can't take a picture of the snowman head. So, yeah, those are... if you have a suggestion, let me know which one to land on, but otherwise I'm going to pick out of one of those two. Maybe I'll just let Linda pick when she gets home. I'll see which one she thinks is the most interesting, and I'll say, hey, which one should I land on? And I'll have her point. But I think I'll try and send the probe down to one of those two next time, so... Yeah, that will do it for the stream. Like I said, I will build the ships between now and next week, including the SSTO and the Pandora ship, so that when I stream next time, there's no building. It's just jumping straight into exploring all of those. So yeah, that will do it for the stream. I appreciate you guys watching, and White Guardian, thank you for creating such an awesome planetary system to explore. I'm going to have a lot of fun testing this. So if there's anything else you need, let me know. But I will close out the stream. And again, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you early next week. So have a good weekend, everyone. I appreciate it. So I will see you soon.